Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Lee Kraft, Monday Morning Racer, the pit reporter for Funny Car Chaos, and this is a Funny Car Chaos moment live from the PRI Show 2022 from the Indiana Convention Center. Next to me, we've got Todd Barker, also Alex Barker. They are the team Back in Black, respectively a nitro-injected Corvette and a blown alcohol GTO, both known as Back in Black. Well, gentlemen, I know that you've been enjoying your PRI. We'll ask the senior member here first. How many PRIs for you so far?
This is 4. We've had 4 of them. Every one of them you come to just keeps like something changes and you get to see something new, but it gets larger and larger in what we've seen. So it's a very cool experience to come see the cars, come see the people, come see the new products. It's always an eye-opening thing every year. So we look forward to it every year.
How many PRIs for you, Alex?
4 as well. I've been with Dad every one of them since 2017. Besides, we took a couple years off, and then COVID hit. And so we've been back-to-back this year and last year.
Well, speaking of new products, maybe not new to you all and running the product, but coming on board this year, Maxima Racing Oils is the official oil for Funny Car Chaos. That's where we're at right now, the Maxima Oil booth. Alex, if you would hold up that fine product, that's actually what they run in their funny cars. Maxima Motor Oil, how has it been in the injected nitro car?
Well, amazingly enough, we've had we run a record number as far as the ET and mile per hour with the injected nitro car, and after that, we basically had some issues with we thought it was an ignition system, but it ended up being a fuel out of adjustment on it and created some pretty catastrophic stuff going on. We got it to where it was actually having a hard time leading the line and basically crushing connecting rods and crushing bearings. But what was the most amazing part about the deal was that we would actually pull everything down. You'd pull a bearing out, have a rod that had been collapsed 40 thousandths of an inch, and a bearing crushed 7 thousandths, and the crankshaft looked brand new. So no matter what anybody says, there's not any oil that we know of that could do that kind of saving of keeping a connecting rod in the motor. And normally whenever that happens, it crushes, causes the oil to go out of the bearing, it spins the rod, and then it kicks the rod out of the pump. So to do that, that just speaks volumes to us on the Maxima oil. It just does its job.
Impressive testimony there with your ride and the nitro injected Back in Black with Maxima Racing Oils. Methanol is notorious for being tough on oil. What has been the experience with Maxima in your ride, Alex?
So in my ride, I just pulled the bearings out of it this year. These are the same bearings that I've run for 3 years now. So they haven't moved any. I haven't wore the coating off of it. Nothing. They look brand new from the box still to this day.
You're joking, right?
No, they are that good. I haven't crushed the bearings in it, nothing like that. So a brand new bearing is basically 61.5 thousandths, and I pull them at 61 or 60, and they're still 61.5, 61. They're that good. The oil is that good.
Hence why Max is in Maxima's Racing's Oil's names. They're definitely doing it to the max when it takes, considering protection for these hot rods in Funny Car Chaos and beyond. So definitely look to Maxima Racing Oils for whatever your application is. You've got to check them out. They are some of the best stuff out there. Alex, let's stay with you. A great championship finals weekend at the Texas Motorplex. You pick up a win in your GTO. I know you still got to be living off of a high from that experience.
Oh, absolutely. It's awesome. Just to go to the Motorplex period and run in with all these big wigs and big hitters, to go out there and then win in the Seafield, that's a game changer for not only the team, but for me too.
Got a fancy belt buckle out of it.
Yeah. I got a cool belt buckle, and congrats to the other winners that got their trophies and belt buckles, but I for sure am polishing mine every night.
Well, what about for the injected back in black Corvette? You mentioned again some troubles, some tribulations this year, parts failures. What's it going to take to turn it around and get one up on your son here, so he doesn't have the only bragging rights in the house?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, he's got bragging rights. He's got 2 wins under his belt, and both of them are the finals every year. So he ends the year one up every time on me on this here lately. Now, Dad's been a bridesmaid 3 times, but he's never been a bride. So the next year we've got our problem fixed. We know what our problem is. We've changed a computer system to actually help us understand what the process is and what's going on even more so. And with that, we have diagnosed our issues. So at that point, next year, we're coming for the A field. We're coming hard and heavy for the A field. So we're looking to run some serious numbers, and it'll get some attention. I promise.
So you're saying, watch out, Kirk Williams, defending 2022 Funny Car Chaos champion.
We're going to try to take at least one from Kirk, if not more, if possible. But we'll see. It's all in the cards at the same time. I mean, you got to have a good car. We've got a good crew. We've got the right parts. We've got the right people involved. We've got people that know how to do it. We've got Clay Copeland and Chase Copeland tuning on the car. Alex is one of our crew members on my car. I'm one of his crew members on his car. We've got separate crews for each car. They take care of the car, and we do our due diligence to try to get it into the winning circle. So, and that's to represent Maxima and DMP Awnings and all the companies that are actually sponsor us through the years, because, hey, without their help, none of us can do any of this stuff.
DMP Awnings is also here. Hopefully we'll be by there later and do an interview for another Funny Car Chaos moment. And you told me all before going live, picked up a new awning, new and improved from DMP.
Yeah, so we started out with a 32-foot awning that was it was rugged. I mean, we've had it for a long time. And then Dean came along. He's like, I don't like it. Let's put a new one on you. So we worked with him, figured out a new deal. So we'll have a brand new look for 2023 for the whole team.
You got to look good in the pits.
Exactly. I mean, you got to look good everywhere at least.
Look good in the pits, look good on the track, look good on the return road, look good everywhere. And y'all certainly with the Corvette and the GTO body, that's kind of rare as a funny car. You don't find those that often. Do you find the Pontiac fans gravitating towards the back in black GTO because they don't see it that often?
Yeah, absolutely. Those Pontiac lovers are hardcore. They want a Pontiac in it too and all this, but there's only 3 of these bodies that were ever made, and there's one that disappeared. I got my car, and then there's an orange one that's on the West Coast somewhere that runs, but I haven't seen it in a long time either.
Certainly unique to have a GTO funny car body. You mentioned he crews on your car. You got a 2-car operation. What are the challenges with that, him driving, also crewing, and trying to make as many races as you're going to in 2023? And before coming on camera, you said that was a bunch, if not all.
Yes. Yeah. We're trying to make as many as we possibly can, which is always our goal every year, bar catastrophic failures and things of that nature. But in that instance of it, we're having to actually revamp our entire trailer to get both cars into the trailer and rearrange pretty much everything so that the exact setup in the pits is completely changed on it, because when you service the nitro car versus when you service the alcohol car, all that has to happen all at the same time. So you have to have a good crew and people to come along with you, and we're very lucky with that. We have it's all our hometown people that all come out of Marlow, Oklahoma. We all work together, and it's a family organization. My oldest son, Cody, he also pits on both cars and helps us with both cars. My wife, she helps on the cars. She helps with the other things that we're doing. And then we got another couple that help us, Don and Kathy. They come along and they bring a camper, and we all stay at the track. So this is a family deal. I mean, it's full-blown family. We're all tight together, and we all kick in and do what we need to do on the thing. But, yeah, it's a challenge to try to do 2 cars. It's a challenge to do 1 car. But to do 2 cars on it, we've got a better idea after this last year what it's really going to take. But, this next year, it'll present its challenges, and we'll work out a few bugs, but we'll get it all. It'll come along.
We're here at PRI 2022, the Maxima Racing Oils booth, the official oil for Funny Car Chaos, talking with the Barkers, the Back in Black team, respectively, the injected nitro Corvette, the methanol burning GTO, who this guy, Alex, is the last winner in the C field in 2022 for Funny Car Chaos at the Texas Motorplex. When we look at 2023, the Funny Car Chaos schedule is completed. We'll be talking about that in the upcoming Funny Car Chaos Live on Wednesday night. Mr. Barker, let's talk about the schedule. What are your thoughts on some new additions, and could a trip all the way to Maryland be in the cards for the Barkers?
Well, we're not ruling that one out, but I will say that the Back in Black GTO is going to have to win one or two to be able to make that happen. We actually looked it up. It's 21 hours one way for us, and it sounds like a lot, but we also have been.
That's what I do. No.
We've been known to drive to California, and it's 22 hours one way to California. So we made that trip 5 years in a row. So I'm not ruling Maryland completely out on the deal, but all the other ones up north and everything, that's the ones we're looking forward to those. But not only all the chaos races, but we're looking forward to the nitro chaos races. We'll bring the Corvette to all three of the nitro chaos races. That's our goal for that thing too. So that's a lot of racing.
We'll talk nitro chaos in just a moment, especially with you with the nitro burner. Alex, your thoughts on the 2023 schedule? No, you cannot just look forward to the finals. I know you're very successful at whatever the final race is, which is going to be at Mocan, by the way, a great place to have the Funny Car Chaos finals. Your thoughts beyond the finals on 2023?
I think it's awesome for the Funny Car Chaos to branch out to the East Coast, because that's where a lot of these cars not only come from the West Coast, but they come from the East Coast too. And these guys want to play along too. So why not let everybody play instead of having it in the central United States, which is great for us. I mean, being in Oklahoma, but these East Coast guys, they do their time to drive to our races. So why not throw a little change back towards them?
I agree, and I can tell you, being an East Coast guy living in South Carolina, knowing many of the East Coast funny car racers, they want the chaos. Expect that event in Maryland to be huge. Mr. Barker, though, alluded to nitro chaos. We've got 3 on the schedule as of now. I've heard rumors of a 4th. I've got to confirm that with Chris and what is going on possibly there. We've got slated Mocan once again, Eddyville, double header with Funny Car Chaos, and the newest addition is Edgewater, yes, in around the Cincinnati area in Ohio. Said you're going to make all of them. What makes Nitro Chaos distinct from Funny Car Chaos and plays in your wheelhouse with an injected nitro machine?
Well, it's just it's another avenue to be able to run these cars, and the greatest part about the whole thing is that I'm actually looking forward to, we might actually get to race a Harley. An injected nitro funny car against a blown injected nitro Harley. Now, how cool could that be? That gives me goosebumps just sitting here saying about it. But something like that, I'd look forward to lining up next to Palmer in his top fuel car again on the thing. But that's the beauty of the chaos. It is not restrictive in the fact that you got to do this cookie cutter car and just see if you can make it go fast. You can do something completely different than everybody else. You can see that with the chaos. Just how many different combinations there are, and that's why we love this series. This is the only series we run. We like it so much. This is all we do. So we're chaos family. That's all it is. You either run the chaos or, we'll help you with some of that other stuff, but we're going to run our chaos.
They're going to run their chaos, and that's certainly good news to hear for Chaos Nation, to expect the Barkers at nearly every race that they can make in 2023. You're burning methanol. Any desire to put some pop in the tank, as our voice of the chaos would say, David Ratton?
I'd love to put some pop in the tank, but it's already enough work to work on 2 cars, especially that injected deal. So, yeah, the car is super competitive where it's at. Usually the winter time you want to change everything, and then you're behind for a couple races. It's easier to shove the car off in the corner, do a little maintenance, and then come back the next year and be just as good as we were. So consistency is definitely going to be what gets the chaos.
Well, we could continue this interview for many more moments and minutes, but we're going to begin to wind it down. So, father, son, we got to talk about that relationship in the racing world. Now, my dad, he would always do some things that would annoy me. Every parent does. I've got to ask, at the racetrack, what are some things you're like, Dad, come on, just no, stop it.
I'm so glad you asked this question because I love this question. Is the pit setup. Setting up one table is what makes or breaks this whole setup. So we have one table on the right head, and if it's too far back, he yells. If it's too far forward, he yells. So you're never happy. I don't set it up. I just set it out there and then not look at it. That way you can do it.
So pit setup, sounds like there's some things to work on from your son idea.
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna have to get out there and get me one of them little marker deals and just mark it off on the ground, and that way I don't got to say nothing on that deal. But no, we get along great. All of us get along real good on it. That is one good thing about working with family. Yeah, you might get a little aggravated with each other on the deal, but there's still nothing better than it. And for us to all be able to do it, we basically know what each other's thinking on the whole thing, and we can read each other's face, so we already know. Okay, the table's not right. I'm just going to walk off and leave it alone. But I mean, I'm not that picky. It can be an inch or two off. Okay, it don't have to be exact. But no, they do an outstanding job. Everybody that helps us. I mean, this is always about everybody else. We just get lucky enough to drive the cars, and we get lucky enough to actually own the cars. But it takes a crew, and it takes you guys. It takes the media. It takes the guys that are taking the pictures. It's a group thing all the way around, from the media to the track to Chris and Tara, who we love to death, and the new baby. Well, I mean, that poor kid ain't got a chance. If it's going to be a racer, no matter what it's going to do on the deal. So, but it's all about, and that's why we talk about Chaos family. It's all about the Chaos family. Everybody out there is family. All the racers that are with us are family. It's just a family deal. We get a joy out of seeing everybody. We look forward to seeing everybody. So, that's the hardest part of this off season, is we don't get to see all of our family.
The chaos is definitely special, no matter that's Funny Car Chaos or Nitro Chaos. We're looking forward to the Barkers and their involvement, and you can expect them to win more races. And I've definitely got my eye on this guy with what he said, that they're going to turn some heads with their performance, and I certainly hope that is the case. So, gentlemen, as we wind this interview down, what is the best racing oil?
Maxima.